What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah, and you're watching this video on Sunday, August 11th, 2024 at 10:50 a.m. MST. Now, I didn't just put on a coat to make this week's video just a little bit different than last week's. It's actually pretty practical. Currently, whether it's -13 outside. It's February, and it seems like here in Bozeman, the last few years at least, it's waited until February for it to actually snow and be a Montana winter, but it is so cold outside right now. I'm actually considering wearing gloves while working at my desk. These windows are awesome, but it also wicks a lot of heat. But this week, Alan is my extra, and I am the ordinary. Alan, I love the beautiful mess that God has destined and purposed in your life. I say that with so much love, with so much honor and respect. We understand the messiness that God has given to us, that we engage this space where we long for so much more in and of God. And as a result, that we're not hesitant to run out into things that we don't understand and that are chaotic and unrefined, and just to exist in that space in order to discover God there. I love that aspect about you. Every time that we hang out, I feel so cared for, so understood, and so ministered to. I appreciate you, and I'm so grateful that we have got to be friends in a withward motion together in life. Friends, again, back in 2021, there was so much going on, just the swirl of life. It was so interesting. Attempting to hear what God was saying. And during that time, Alan reached out to me to say, let's hang out. Like, I haven't seen you for a while, brother, and I miss you. Let's just get together and fellowship. As that period of time, as I was walking through, as I recorded, this learning about the aspect of sacrifice within fellowship, that fellowship is an expression of sacrifice. God just pouring into my heart all of his heart and mind about what is sacrifice and why has he correlated fellowship with sacrifice? What is that? And as he asked if I could set aside time for us to hang out, I told him that I was working extra hard to free up time for a songwriting retreat that was coming up on February 18th through the 20th. That just people who were passionate about worshiping God and songwriting to get together and seek his heart for expressions of worship for our valley, to invite unity amongst the church, and just the establishment of the kingdom of heaven on earth as it was in heaven. So, just so passionate to be a part of that pursuit of God's heart together in community. So I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I have time. I feel like I'm trying to free up time for that weekend, but I feel like I'm driving at a brick wall and throwing texts back and forth, and grace that came out that challenged me says, I'm working hard to try to free up time to do the songwriting weekend coming up, but feel like I'm driving at a brick wall. Sacrifice is the answer, as always. Sacrifice doesn't flow out of freed up, convenient expenditure. Sacrifice means something is considered a loss. Question: is the sacrifice worth it? Fellowship with you is worth it. We'll carve out the time coming up here in the next week or so. I love you, brother. And just driving home again, I think God just ministering so much to my heart. back in that period of 2021. It's always so interesting saying that, because that's now. But you're watching this here in 2024. But just God reiterating over and over the necessity of sacrifice, that if I just wait until things are convenient and things are free resources, there's no sacrifice involved, that his will, that his heart is not represented in that space, that it requires sacrifice. And so the question is the sacrifice worth it? And so, Alan, I think beyond just hanging out and being friends, I think beyond just your gentle ministry to me in that space, that God was providing grace for me to, again, jettison me 3.5 years into the future, that on the cusp of 1 year, the 1 year anniversary of Extraordinary Life with Elijah, life was just coming unscrewed, that life was just so ridiculous. And just the wrestle of, man, can I keep this up for another 2.5 years? I don't know. But just all of the resources of God to encourage my heart and to keep moving me forward in the expression of faith that God has for me. So friends, family, wherever you are here in 2024, whatever it is that you're wrestling through, whatever swirl you have, or the darkness that you can't see through and in, and you're wrestling with, how do I do this? I don't know if I can do this. I don't have the experience. I don't have the acumen. I don't have the insights. There's too many questions. And you're just in that space. That I release God's grace to you. By the testimony of this video, His power is sufficient to cause you to stand in your weakness. And that in that space of weakness, that His power is made perfect in and through you. You will stand because God is able to make you stand. I bear testimony to the beauty of God's grace in my life, through the everyday, ordinary circumstances of friends just hanging out and just living life together one day at a time, not knowing what they're speaking to, but just expressing sincere love to one another. That out of that sincere love in community, that God imparted grace to me to reach out to you here in 2024, all through a friend's text. Yo, would you meet up for some time to meet up? It's been a while since I've seen you. So beautiful that just a brother missing another brother and said, yo, I miss you. Do you want to hang out? Can you free up time in your schedule? Can you sacrifice to be with me? Truly, am I worth it, Elijah? Yes, Alan, you are worth it. You are worth the sacrifice and your invitation to sacrifice, to be in fellowship with you. The sacrifice that you gave up to meet with me imparted grace to me to jettison me 3.5 years into the future here in 2024. To impart grace to my family, to help them stand in whatever it is that they're fighting through. Your one sacrifice, Alan, your one invitation for me to sacrifice for you, to be in fellowship with you, imparted enough grace to propel me forward in time to minister to an entire people. Family, receive the grace of my Father to know him more in wherever you find yourselves. Grace and peace be unto you through Jesus Christ by the power of his Holy Spirit. If you subscribe to what I am doing, hit the button. Hit it and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you loved this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessing on our lives together. I love you guys lots, and I'll see you in next week's video. Because there's no corollary video. Oh, I still don't know how I did that. Oh well, 2 more times to hang out with you this week. I love you guys, and I'll see you in next week's video.